So you would have seen in some recent videos I've been using this Nelson-Rigg bag, and so I'm going to do a quick little review on it because I've used it for a couple of different purposes and it is really good. I really like it, but there's a couple of things that you should probably know. All right, first of all, what is it? It's a 30-litre bag. It's fully waterproof. It is that typical waterproof style where you wrap it up and you close it off, and you got your straps on the side which close it off all nice and neat, right? So it is a great bag. It's very sturdy, 100% waterproof. You got a little opener there which lets the air out, so you can really compact it down. Great thing is the way it's strapped down, it means I can access the inside of the bag really easily. So I like this bag being on top. If we're fully packed up for camping and everything, then I run the saddlebags on the side and this on the top. So everything I want to access during the day is going to be in the bag, right? Anything else that's camping gear, sleeping bags, all that sort of stuff in the saddlebags, right? So it makes it really good for easy access. Now, what we have as far as the way it's strapped down is we have these, it comes with these 4 straps, which you then just loop around down here, and they come up and they strap into the webbings on the front. Now, what that does is it means that you can't open this without taking the webbing, without taking the straps off. There's a little bag in there. There's just a little pouch, and there's another clear pouch here. I have no idea what that's for because it doesn't really fit anything in it. it's a bit awkward. And also, once you put this down and then you're using that to strap it down, anything in here tends to just make it really bulky, and it sort of makes this whole thing go like this, and it, I don't know, it just doesn't look right. So they tend to get a bit squashed. Now at the back, it's then got these extra straps, and they then clip in like that, and that then straps it down. Now, one of the things to be mindful of is you still get a bit of movement there, depending on how you've strapped it. Now, you could probably cross strap to try and sort of prevent forward and backward movement. The thing is, right, the way it straps down, because when you're looking at a tank bag and so on, they strap from the bottom, right? So you can really sort of cement that bottom into whatever you're mounting on the rear or on the tank. Now with this, because you're strapping it to the top instead, like, it keeps it kind of sturdy, but it's also really dependent on what's inside the bag. And once you start riding, things start moving around, so then it starts to loosen up, right? So these aren't elastic in any way, so they don't keep themselves tight. So you've just got to, basically all it means is that once you start riding, at your first stop, just do a bit of a, tighten up, right? Other than that, it's not too bad. Then it has a little drink bottle on the side, works nicely. It's got a little strap there that holds the drink bottle in so it doesn't lose it, so that's great. It's got all the webbings on the side. It means you can strap stuff to it if you need to, and so on. So all that is pretty good, very good. Now, taking it off, here's the thing, right? When I want to take it off, say I'm commuting, when I want to get to where I'm going, I've got these 4 straps, and so it's good here that you got this, right? You got this little loop here that you go through which stops it from moving back and forth. But it's just another little piece that you've then got to obviously undo when you get to your location. So now I'm at wherever I'm going, pick up the bag, and of course these straps are going to stay there. So if you're parked somewhere that's secure, then that's not a problem. But if you're not, they're vulnerable to being stolen. So that means you've got to take them off and put them in your bag, right? So as far as commuting, right, depends on whether you're in a locked location. Now, this is neat as far as, the way you use it. So you can just obviously grab it by its strap there, but then you've got the backpack piece there that just comes out on both sides, of course, but that obviously turns it into a backpack. So it is pretty good like that. I have to admit, I love that feature, and that was one of the things I wanted with this bag. I wanted a bag I could use for everything, rather than having half a dozen different bags. Now, of course, once they're strapped in, if you're commuting, you can just put it on, just tuck it in underneath, and it would stay there. So that's not really a problem. So we have taken it through a fair amount of mud and some rain, and nothing ever got in. So you know, definitely as waterproof as you can imagine, as much as you'd need it to be. And I'm putting my drone and stuff like that in there. So I want it to be, you know, if I drop the bike in a creek crossing or something like that, then I want to make sure that that stays relatively safe, which, you know, the way that the waterproof bags work is, it is pretty good. Now, on the inside, it is just basically a big open bag. It does have a laptop sleeve, so fits the laptop well. I've got a 16-inch MacBook Pro that fits in nice and easily, so you can actually fit quite a large laptop into there. Keeps it separate from the rest of the gear, but it's not padded or anything. So I'd probably, if you're worried at all about, depending if you had some hard things inside the bag and you had your laptop in there, then I would probably just put the laptop in a nice padded bag or something like that, and that should still fit in there. There's a couple of these ribbings are on the side there, but that's it. Other than that, the bag is just open. So whenever you're traveling, I've basically got this set up to have bag within bags. So I'm just carrying another, funnily enough, another tank bag in there. It's because of all my tools and stuff. So you just need to pack it in a way that you know, it's a big open space. It's not compartmentalized at all. So that's the only other thing I think of. So there's a couple little things to consider in the usage of it. But yeah, probably the only downside, the only thing that's a bit of a for me, is it is quite big, even when it's all strapped up. So you can fill it up, right? But the smallest you can get it is to there, right? That's at the top of the straps. So you can't go any smaller than that. So on the back of the MT-09, that's not particularly spacious, right? So once I bring it to the tail of the bike, because the MT-09 ends about here, right? So then the seat-wise, it's sitting right up against your back. So not a big problem, because in commuting you're not standing up a lot compared to adventure riding, but it is kind of probably, I wouldn't mind it being a bit smaller, to be honest. And maybe I'll try and hang it over the back a bit more. If you had a rack on the back, it wouldn't be a problem. Just putting it purely on a pillion seat, it is pretty big for that. So it's the only thing to consider. Other than that, fantastic bag. I got this from AdventureMoto and Dural. So go and say hi to Steve or Max there. And yeah, good bag. Anyway, gotta get back to it.